To the US now, presidential candidates have clashed in an at times fiery debate in Texas this afternoon. For the first time in the 2020 campaign, all the frontrunners shared the stage for this 3-hour televised contest between Democratic contenders. CNN reporter Whitney Wild was there. She joins us now live from Houston. Whitney, thanks very much for your time. What was your take, first of all? Who came out and emerged perhaps out of a pretty crowded field right now?
So there are a few candidates who had really strong performances tonight. Joe Biden had a strong performance. He seemed to be not gaffe prone as he had been in the past. In some previous debates, he had a difficult time articulating his ideas, difficult time getting the words out. That didn't seem to be as much of a problem for him tonight. Kamala Harris also had a good night. She has seemed more personal tonight. She told several stories that were very deeply personal for her, which was a different type of performance that we've seen out of her. The breakout moment, though, really came when Julian Castro, who has been polling so low, I mean, he has not broken into double-digit polling ever, started to take shots at Joe Biden. That was something we did not expect to see, and it just went on and on and on. I mean, it wasn't like he just had one shot at Joe Biden. He took several shots at Joe Biden, and he took a shot at Pete Buttigieg as well. So it seemed like he was an equal opportunity shot taker in some respects. So one of the things that we were watching for tonight was this matchup between Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren. And you said it, this was the first time we were seeing all the front runners on the same stage. We fully expected Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren to have a very fiery showdown. That just did not happen.
Yeah, a bit more gloves off than many people were expecting. You mentioned there some of the shots that Julian Castro was taking there, and one of them is spoken about as almost trying to allude to Joe Biden's memory because of some recent concerns about slip-ups he's having, and talk about his age. But on further analysis of it, perhaps the line from Castro was a bit of a stretch. What did you make of all that?
So there are different interpretations of that. A lot of people at home sitting there thinking, feeling perhaps that it might have been a little bit mean-spirited, that it was a cheap shot at, as you said it, at Joe Biden's age. He maintains he didn't mean it like that he was really talking about policy, and he was pointing out that he was flip-flopping on his position within just a few minutes. So that's Julian Castro's position, although there is a lot of interpretation out there that perhaps the tone and tenor, at a minimum, the tone and tenor was inappropriate. But still, it's the moment everyone's talking about. It's what's got his name out there. And so it will really be up to that follow-up polling to figure out how American people are reacting to that moment.
Whitney, I wanted to ask you about one other candidate, Kamala Harris. A few people noted her sort of tone, and there's a lot of talk about this, that the person that might be able to take it up to Donald Trump might not be someone fighting along conventional methods, but also not delving too deep into policy, that she might have this right mix of sort of putting in jokes at the right moment, for example. What did you make of her? She
has been popular. She has had some bursts in the polls, but she's been in that single-digit range. Tonight was a lot different. So she was more personal tonight, even calling Joe Biden Joe in this very loose moment between the two of them. She was one of the few candidates who, even when she was not exactly prompted to, spun the conversation around and pointed it directly back at President Trump. She spoke directly to him during her opening remarks, so that was really her strategy tonight. She has maintained since the beginning that she is the candidate who can prosecute President Trump. So, yes, there is a theory out there that perhaps she has the right blend to take this all the way home, although the polling, it doesn't really seem to support that in some ways, because she has had a difficult time maintaining that single-digit poll, or excuse me, she's had a difficult time maintaining the double-digit polling. Over the last couple weeks, she's been in that single-digit range. So, again, after tonight will be really interesting to see, because this was the last chance these candidates had to really differentiate themselves between one another, because it might be the last time that they are on stage as a group, because of the rules for the next debate could spread those front runners out across two nights, as we've seen in the past debates.